My name is Arais Meteyard. I was raised in a family of the arts, primarily around my mother, my father, and my grandfather. My mother does poems. My father is a master printer in photography, printmaking, as well as book arts, and my grandfather is a renowned film photographer. So primarily for my artistic practice, I like to expose myself to as many different artists as I can, but I don't primarily use them as influences. I just use them as a well of knowledge. And so for my own practices, I just like to look at reality as it is and observe the natural world. It can be as simple as sitting in my living room and looking out the window, as well as reading literature. So I don't really have any specific methodology. At one point I was trying to just make art that was happy because there's so much negativity in the world, but there's also so much happiness it's just hard to focus on. But when I made art like that, it ended up being really plain and dull, and it always somehow started turning into something negative. And so then I focused on just trying to counterbalance that of the positive and the negative within each other. So the main theme of my show, titled This Is This, deals with the act of censorship as well as ambiguity. And when I mention ambiguity, it's freedom of thought and interpretation, not being told where your mind should take it, but having a non-directional narrative. And with the title as well, it has a different connotation to it, such as being able, not just being able to have freedom of thought, but also within what the powers that are want you to think, and the news media directly telling you that this is this and only having it at that face value without being able to have any other form of information or interpretation. And within this I have different mediums, and the first is ink paintings, which deal with gaps in identity and consciousness, such as the naming of names and how we perceive nature and that which is natural. And how can we perceive these things when they have continuously been censored and history has deleted them. I also have paintings that deal with biological censorship. I have two book arts that deal with the act of censorship as a recurrence in past and present forms to show how these modes may have changed but the act still remains. And I have two animations, the first Misericordia, which deals with technological censorship, how we exist within the technological world instead of the natural nowadays, as well as Nothingness Conquered Them, which deals with genocide and religious persecution.